generator.
Yeah, true. I'm going to download that song.
Yeah. Welcome to Hive Scum, the podcast for the 28 community. Woo! Woo!
Do you guys think other podcasts crack cans on the mic?
Probably.
Probably not, actually. Use code HIVESCUM10 to get 10% off your order of Coke.com.
Coke.com. You think their website is probably... They probably bought all of the domains that could potentially even be
Coke Zero, Diet Coke,
yeah.
Coca-Cola.
I bet you those all route to just like the Coca-Cola channel.
That's true. Who are you, though?
Oh, I'm Terry at Stone.Joel. Joel. I'm Stone.Joel.
Stone.Joel.
Yeah.
I'm Steve at South of Heaven.
I'm Gage at No Clear Coat.
I gotta say, I haven't been on Instagram in probably 6 months.
You're better off.
Well, I know I'm better
sucks.
off, but like if you have, if you're a listener and you have followed me, I'm sorry. I probably haven't gotten back to you.
Go to the
probably
Discord.
have not interacted at all. You should head on over to the In Rust We Trust Discord, which you can find down in the description below.
Yes, please like and subscribe. And use code HIVESCUM10 to get 10% off your order of joining the Discord.
And don't forget to hit that bell. Yeah, I don't really know the bell. The bell is...
That's a YouTube thing.
Yeah. Speaking of YouTube things, this video is brought to you by Skillshare, our sponsor for this episode.
God damn, we're getting them all out early.
I wish we were actually getting paid for that, and it wasn't just a bit.
Speaking about getting paid, though, if you want to get paid, you could use code HIVESCUM10 to get paid by our other sponsor, Squarespace.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Right.
I know times are hard. Blue Chew.
Blue Chew has your back. You know?
Yeah.
Paired with our other sponsor, MeUndies. MeUndies is the greatest. The ball pocket. I'm wearing one right now.
Cups your balls.
Yeah. You know, I don't have to have Terry cut my balls anymore. The MeUndies does it.
Yep, it's true. It's been
I thought I was going to wear
break.
Coke Zero there.
Yeah, and
This is going to be the worst episode.
if you need a little bit of somebody to talk to, you can head on over to BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
Is it help or health?
BetterHelp. BetterHelp.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, make sure you use code HIVESCUM10 to get 10% off your order.
God damn.
Don't keep the lights on.
Help keep us. Oh, yeah. Thank you for supporting independent artists like us by going to companies and buying their bullshit.
Yes, thank you for buying MeUndies.
Yeah. Because if I didn't work for a company, then I would be I would be lost.
That's true.
Dude, you're getting Terry to spiral right now.
Speaking of
fucking
spiraling,
hate ads.
go to patreon.com/hivescum and join our Patreon.
Thank you for that ad. The whole first part, though, don't go to any of those fucking sites. They're all bullshit. They got all of those sites are bullshit. Gotta be, right?
You know what's not bullshit, though?
Fucking real world, dude.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Raid Shadow Legends. That's what it is.
Never mind.
Are you gonna keep doing the bit?
No, I wasn't.
I was like, I don't know if this is real or
I
not.
wasn't.
Anyways, yeah, they're all bad.
I was going to say, you know what's not bullshit is whatever Terry's been
That's
up to.
true. That's true.
Oh, what have I been up to? I finished the truck. I kind of bushed through it because I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Which one? The big ass one?
The big ass one, dude. At a
Big
certain point,
ass truck.
Shout out.
at a certain point in the project, listeners, you just gotta freaking get it done.
Yeah.
I was like I painted a little Taz on the back, flipping it
Oh, he's
off.
so cool.
It's very sick.
Back off.
But like we always say, just because you had to get it done, I don't fucking notice that. That truck is beautiful.
And I like it.
I thought you were talking about the box truck that's not painted, honestly, just now.
No, that was from Ben.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? He's talking about it. He's like,
Rusty
shit
Farrell?
sucks. That
Oh,
ain't,
yeah,
it's not done. It's like,
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about the not done
Yeah,
truck.
because you had a day to work on it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You just gotta like. Sometimes you just gotta cut a project. You're like, I
Feels
could
bad,
tinker with this forever. I could add more highlights. I could add rust effects. I want to add glossy here and have the combination of glossy and matte and blah blah blah. But at a certain point, you're like, I need to move on for my own brain.
Yeah.
I need to move on to something else. And so I got that done. And then honestly, as much as I've been loving working on the orcs, I've been staring at the same like orc units for so long that I had one last def copter to finish up. And I just rushed through that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I got it done super quick. It looks good. Looks fine. I painted a cool freehand banner. That's just like the most... I finished it in, I don't know, like 5 minutes because I was just like, I'm getting it done. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
And it feels good. I can put all of those to the side. I actually brought them all into the studio and put them in the case.
Yay.
And then I can my desk is clear again, and I can be like, maybe I will bash something rather than just painting orcs forever. So I'm excited about that. I think that's it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I got a new washer dryer, but I don't have to talk to you
that's
guys
not
about
hot.
that.
Wait,
It's
what brand
fun.
did you go with?
Well, it was bought from some other person, so I was
Patreon.
Secondhand.
secondhand.
Patron sent you a washer and dryer.
They sent me a washer dryer, LG something.
Yeah. Does it have Wi-Fi?
It does. I will never use that.
Nice.
My air conditioners have Wi-Fi. I don't use
Yeah.
that.
I don't understand that shit, and it really pains me that my washer and dryer even needs Wi-Fi, or it doesn't need
You should
it,
ask Gage about
but
his
it
fridge.
could use it.
You play Doom on my fridge.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Smart fridges. Why does
Yeah.
my fridge needs to keep shit cool,
Yeah.
and that's what I want it for. Hate to be an old man about this, but I don't need a TV screen on my
My
freaking
fridge texts
microwave.
No, it doesn't.
Me. Yeah, it says, "Hey, just so you know, filter. You should get a new one." What's this? What
Never
is
mind.
this,
I'm
your
not going
fridge?
to play. I'm not going to play. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't
Is
know.
this your fridge?
This
is his fridge talking.
My fridge actually
you have weight
generates
music?
its own
You
music.
open the fridge, it's like a. Dun, 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 dun.
You think that's the Oh, I don't want to go too deep in this. You
Get in
think
there. Get in there.
That's like the future for like bullshit AI music is like my fridge generates it. It generates a new song every time I open it using like some bullshit algorithm.
Elevators have their own
I'm not trying to-
AI.
Oh
trying-
my goodness, that
Dude.
literally makes so much sense, and I fucking hate it. That is-
Elevator music writes itself. That's crazy.
Don't we know someone that like low key does like hold music, like makes
Hold music rocks. Honestly, you can get deeper into this, and I can't remember the guy's
like
name
we've
off the top of my head, but there are some like
Yeah, there's someone. I
Yeah.
don't know if we talked about it on the pod, but there's someone that we, I don't know in what channel we know them, but like we know someone that has made money
Yeah.
doing like call hold music.
as you should. It's actual music,
Yeah,
and it's like there's actual artists.
except when it sucks.
A quote from Terry. It's actual music.
It is actual music. Dude,
A noise artist screaming from his soapbox.
hold music is music. God damn it.
Change my mind.
But I could see a world where they're like, we don't need to pay somebody to make this hold music. We don't need to pay for this hold music. We can just make it on a computer. Okay, we got to change subjects. I'm losing my mind over here.
That's all you're up to?
Anyways, that's all I've been up to.
Cool.
Steve, what you been working on?
What have I been working on? What did I work on last time? I don't even remember. I don't remember anymore. Everything blends together.
Yeah.
Time is
Our
flat
recording
circle.
schedule's been pretty fucked up for a while.
Yeah,
Yes. Well, sorry, I went on vacation.
yeah.
for a
It
little
is
bit.
actually your fault.
It was fun though. I had a fun time.
That's good. You've been working on getting Flames fully done. I had a meeting with our friend Dylan. He's
My
gonna
boyfriend.
The guy.
My boyfriend. Your lookalike. That's
Yeah.
why he's my other boyfriend.
That's true.
Very funny. I was showing him the Under the Dice issue 7, and there's like a big spread, a 2-page spread of like Adepticon. It's headshots of like a bunch of friends. And he's like, he was like, "Oh, am I in there?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." I zoomed in on you. And he goes, "You motherfucker!" But it's been really great.
What's Dylan's name on Instagram?
Dylan Melisco.
Just straight up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, go follow him because
Also-
fantastic hobbyist.
Yeah, I think you can also follow him at Coke Zero. I think that's his name
Or
as well.
www.coke0.com.
Yeah, or at WWE.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
say.
I think
True.
That's true.
Yeah, I think he also runs at Amazon on Instagram.
Oh, yeah?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I should have bought
Yeah, he's
that.
a real Jeff Bezos head.
yeah.
He's a big fan.
Yeah, I've been talking to him. We've had a couple meetings the past week, and it's very fun. Excited. Well, it's not fun. It's work. It's work.
Yeah, it's work.
It's
It's
work.
passion. Dude.
It's not
passion.
passion.
Work.
It's hard. It sucks.
It does sometimes suck. And then I made some mechs the other day
You did mostly Reaper calves.
with like little toy tank bits.
Yeah,
and other
yeah.
bullshit.
Very cool.
Yeah, those Reaper Cav models are some of the best.
I love them. I think I've officially cleaned out all of Hobby Bunker. Sorry, Massachusetts heads, but every time I'm there, or every time there's an Australian in town, I have to bring them there. I don't know why there specifically, because they normally want to see Boston, but
That spot's sick. I've never even been.
dude, it's very sick, and there's some gems there for sure. There's a lot of crap there, but there's a lot of gems. But yeah, those Reaper calves, the scale is just a little.
That's what I was going to ask.
They're a tiny bit big, but I don't think it's bad. It's great because
certainly
Battletech, you're not playing with them. Like
No.
But for flames, it's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
sick.
yeah. For mini agnostic shit, they're fucking awesome. I think it's called the Tiamat actually. The one I have that just has like
giant missile pod walking.
it's just huge missile pods and
Yeah.
it has like bell bottoms for legs. Yeah, it's fucking way too big, but very cool.
Damn, you got to paint them up with like flames, Gene.
Actually, I already painted it, Terry.
Janko flame jeans. Yeah, mine are also painted. I just painted them today. They're awesome. I did them all like I wrote a short story, like a little vignette for the book, and it's from the perspective of a guy going to like a jungle planet and is like Vietnam inspired mech, like with the big like shark grin fucking painted on
cool.
it.
Yeah,
So
hell
I
yeah.
painted and built the mech that like I wrote the story about.
Oh, sick.
So
That's cool.
it's gonna be cool. But yeah, that's all I've really been doing. I think I've been thinking about chaos lately, building a chaos.
Just in like your
army.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
My life's been chaos.
life has been chaos, but I've been thinking about making a chaos army, like where it's
Square
kit
base?
bashed.
No. The sponsor is of this segment is Squarespace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
steam's coming out of his ears. No, I just been thinking a lot about because I have all this old chaos stuff that's metal and original stuff that I really
Yeah.
wanted to put together and paint it like old Hammer style, kind of how I did my Empire Army, where it's
Totally.
like,
You get 4,000 points done in a weekend.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I really want to try because there's some guys on Instagram that make like a lot of kit bash chaos for 40K. That is so cool looking, like that Rancid Antler guy on Instagram. I don't know him really, but we chat sometimes about models because he makes the most insane kit bashes.
So this would be for 40K, you're thinking?
yeah, but I don't really want to play 40K.
He has a crazy
Yeah.
tank, right? That's the.
He has a bunch of crazy.
He has a bunch of crazy.
He has
shit.
like a insane, great and clean one. I think.
Yeah, I feel like I can. The tank is what sticks out in my mind too. But yeah,
Yeah, it's.
no, his shit rocks.
And then I've been playing Dawn of War with like Renzo and Tyler lately.
Yeah, I seen you boys up late last night.
Oh yeah, we were late last night. Well, we were gonna play Mecha Break, but then I
I
had
been
to.
playing that.
Well, no, I told him about it. He's like, "Oh, I'm definitely good," because we've been
Dude.
playing Mech Warrior.
Yeah.
And then I told him about Mecha Break. He's like, "Oh, let's try it." And he downloaded it. I had the demo because it was always the
Yep, the
demo
demo was
did
always free.
everything. But I think they released the full game for free
Last week.
And I went to go play it, and I was like, "Oh, I have to download the game now." And
Yeah.
it was fucking every game I downloads mad slow. So we just played Dawn of War to kill time.
Dude, whenever you want to play that.
We were
That
trying
game, that game is insane.
We could play
Zoomer reflex
tonight.
shit, but yeah,
instead of Quake
mean-
Live, we just play that.
Listen,
Get a
you
squad
know,
going.
you know?
Is it like full multiplayer? Is it like
Oh, yeah.
PvP or is
oh
it
yeah,
like
oh yeah. There was a time I don't remember who was even in the chat. I know Evan was there. He's my hype man. But there's a bunch of people one day in the Discord, and I was just streaming it just to kill time. And dude, I went it was like 18-0 with this one like loadout I had, and I was like, this game is actually sick.
There's like a mech fighting game?
It's a mech fighting game. It's
but
like
it's like
5v5.
hyper speed.
Oh.
It's like anime mech fight
I
game.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I think is cool.
It's like super like essentially it's like the Quake like
Yes.
fast paced
Yeah,
run and
yeah,
gun
yeah.
game, but it's with mechs.
Yeah.
And like
cool.
crazy loadouts. Like you have a million guns, a million fucking missiles flying all over the
I
place.
was like, think of the most insane rhythm game you've ever
That's
seen.
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Is it like a rhythm game?
Like
kind of
at
thing?
an arcade where it's just like you're overstimulated the second you walk up to the
I
cabinet.
love that stuff.
That's what this feels like as a fighting game.
Have you ever played
or I should say shooter, not fighting.
you ever play that it's like a Half-Life mod game called Nexus? It's like insane, like Surf, like the
Yeah,
surf
yeah.
game
Oh,
type.
yeah.
It's
That founded by the Broken Clan out of Massachusetts, USA.
Legacy. But it's essentially movement all over the map like that and without having to do the surfing.
I think
and
I know
it's
what you're
just
talking about.
insane guns going the whole
Yeah.
time. It's just a mod you can just download for free on
You
Steam.
have to be under the age of 16 to have reflexes to play it.
Yeah, I can't play that
nice.
game.
Yeah.
That's why I think I'm going to be bad at Mecha Break, but
Why did you say nice?
I
a
don't
bunch of
know. I have no
15-year-olds just
idea.
kicking your ass. Dakota is tapped. All right, I'm going to talk about this on the pad, even though I know Dakota doesn't listen.
Yeah.
We were talking about how
Shout out Dakota.
shout out Dakota. Me and Tyler were talking about Dawn of War yesterday.
Yep.
I can't remember who we were talking about it with, but we're just talking about how we all were like, yeah, we're going to play Dawn of War. It's going to be really fun. All our friends just like casually, 4v4, 3v3 just for fun. And then we're like, we're playing with the knowledge of us playing it when it came out.
Yes.
But then we're like, Dakota wants to play, and we're like, oh, fuck yeah.
I love Dakota.
And then
dude.
Dakota definitely is like he's like playing Sisters of Battle, the army that has probably the least amount of stuff, but it is the last army that was released for the game before they stopped making it. They did not balance it.
Anything.
And Dakota's playing he's the only person playing this army, and he wins every game.
Oh,
every single game.
It's so Dakota.
And we're like, Dakota, what's going on? And he's like min-maxing his build, and we're like, dude.
He's the best.
Dakota and I played Stronghold. We talked like for weeks about playing Stronghold. Stronghold is like an RTS.
Stronghold TD?
No. It's like it's an RTS game, but it's like a ye old fantasy, but it's supposed to be more realistic than Age of Empires or something.
Okay.
You actually have to care about your food, your resources. It's like an Age of Empires, but just way more ingrained, right?
That's cool.
But anyway, so we've been talking about it for like weeks about playing it, whatever. We finally set it up. We set up a virtual LAN, go into the game. First 2 minutes, a squad of, not even 2 minutes, under a minute, a squad of archers comes over to my base and just fucking kills my king.
Are
and
you
I
playing
lost.
1v1
Yeah.
against Dakota?
Yeah.
He just does.
And I was like, how did you even get archers in the first fucking minute? He goes, well, if you build exactly 4 builders, that's the exact amount of wood that you need. They go over, they collect the wood, and then you can immediately build the trading post and dump all of your starting gold into archers.
I hate that. I hate that.
Gamer at heart.
And I was like, this sucks so
Power
bad.
gamer.
I hate you.
That's the equivalent of me like engineer rushing in Red Alert 2 against someone who's just trying to like build a tank.
yeah.
Like,
And you're like, okay, well, I stole everything now. Fuck you.
Well, now that we're totally off subject.
this is what I've been doing.
But going back to Chaos
Chaos.
and 40K,
40K.
I've been thinking about how sick it is that we're doing this 40K campaign now. And like just the idea.
Really?
We'll get, don't you? I don't want to even hear it right now. Let me finish my thought, Gage, before you poop on me. So I think that these little campaign seasons, like the Regiments campaign, and then we're sort of getting close to the end of the 40K campaign, and now we're thinking about what the next one's going to be, and like kind of throwing out ideas for that. But eventually, we will come back to 40K. Like eventually, it'll come back to sci-fi related games.
At some point.
And then when I'm sitting there or when I'm in the shower and I'm like, ooh, it would be so cool to like revisit my undead army, or I want to revisit like my like you were just talking about Chaos, and I'm like, Nurgle, like going back to that Nurgle 40K project that I was working on, I'm like, oh, I can now put that thought to the back and just wait till it comes up again.
Yeah.
I could wait until like we're like, well, what if we do like a sci-fi, like we're back to kind of using, OPR Grimdark Future, we're playing like a 40K campaign. We're coming back to it. And then I can kind of reinvest in those ideas.
What do you mean?
It's
Like
nice.
you're making like a wish list of your future project?
Well, I don't need to like then be overwhelmed with ideas.
I got to work on my Nurgle project that I,
I
want
have
to
this
work
project, I have this project, I have this project, I have this project. It's like,
I got you.
well, I'm going to work on whatever's next.
Yeah.
It's
If we're
nice
playing
because you already
bolt
have a
action,
chunk.
yeah.
You already have, and I have that same thing of like, oh, we're going to play this new campaign. I can just play vampires this campaign and
Yes.
then
Yeah.
fix it all
Yeah.
and like
Exactly.
touch on it.
Or make a new hero, and that's
exactly.
the project part of it. Yeah.
Which is really cool because it means that like, like I haven't played with the undead army that I made in a very long time, but eventually it'll come back up.
Yeah.
Or like if you have an idea for bolt action or something like that, you just have to wait till it comes up.
Yep.
And then you're like, great, now's the time. I don't need to be juggling in my brain 6 projects that I want to do and being like, what am I going to do next? It's like, no, you're going to do whatever is next on the roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just
Which is
excited
really
for
great.
the rhythm of the group.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were you were gonna shit on me about?
Well, listen,
40K?
I'll let
You're
Steve
gonna-
finish. I'll let Steve
All
finish
right.
what he's been doing, and then I'll shit on you.
I think that's it. I think
Great.
that's it. Me and Tyler were talking about playing, instead of actually playing games, we're just going to play Dawn of War, though, for the campaign.
That's
Honestly,
funny.
We're just going to do
It
1v1
counts.
games and
That's
count
pretty
it.
funny.
It counts. That counts.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gage, why don't you tell us your thoughts on Terry right now? Hold on, let me fix the mic. You should leave this in.
Well, let me start off on a positive note. What I've been working on.
Tyranids.
Tyranids. I have 2 models left to paint, and then I'm at 1,300 points. Right now, I'm kind of coming up with how to bash my, like, I want a Flyrant. I want a Hive Tyrant. But I'm using like almost 2 boxes worth to make one guy. I want him to have double wings. I might give him a whole nother set of arms because I want the Swarm Lord look of having just the 3 insane swords, but also
give him a gun.
Yeah, dude, there's nothing cooler than the big like honking Tyranid gun.
think so,
dude.
yeah.
It's so sick because it just looks so alien, right? Like everything on the Tyranid is kind of like, okay, the carapace kind of looks like it's crabby, you know, the wings kind of look like whatever, but then like the guns are just so weird.
I'm with you.
Like, so yeah, I've been like, I don't know. Every time I've come to the studio the last 2 weeks, I keep grabbing that huge box of Tyranids that I keep bringing, and I like do a little bit, and then it's like going into cleaning mode at the studio or something else, or we're setting up a projector or hanging a light or a screen from the ceiling. So it's been a lot of like adjacent hobby stuff and a lot of studio care. I've been printing a shitload of I guess it's Zone Mortalis ripoff terrain.
Yeah.
That stuff.
For Tyler and I's city fight idea. Well, I mean, it's his boards, but I really, really want to play it. And I think to what your previous point was, Terry, of like, okay, what's next on the docket? I think after Tyranids, I'm going to go into just 3rd edition Space Wolves. I'm going to keep them true. Yeah. Yeah, I know, for city fight. But then, see,
Maybe
say
I'll
that.
do orcs for that.
There you go. I say that
There you
though,
go.
and then yesterday the Conflict 47 plastic kit came out. The whole new range.
Does it look good?
It looks fucking sick.
We're not playing that game.
No.
But here's the thing: I might buy the rulebook because we have so many bolt action heads,
Yeah.
and then we just kit bash the shit that is not.
Tyler will never.
Listen,
He'll
my
be
boy
the diehard
Tyler,
original faction.
my boy Tyler will play his army, and he will kit bash a cool mech for his.
That's true. That's
Germans. So, you know, we'll see. I don't know. I may or may not have bought the book, but
The plan's actually already going.
it's actually coming to my house Tuesday. Work is kind of fucking my schedule up right now, so I've been like not really as productive as I'd like, but I'm at peace with it. I'm okay.
Yes, baby.
I'm
You gotta
alright.
be.
I'm comfortable. I'm having fun.
Ride those waves when you can.
I've been playing a lot though, and I think this is where we'll go into the shit talk segment.
I thought we were gonna get away with that. I was like, I think he forgot.
No.
Oh,
Sponsored
good.
by Coke Zero.
No.
This
AI
is
Leia on the front.
Yeah, this is the shit talk segment from No Clear Coat, Notorious Hater.
Wait, can we have a shit talk section every episode?
No, that's bad.
No, I think
that's too much
cool.
power.
Time
That's too
for
much power.
I like that.
Talking with Gage. That's Thank you. Oh.
All right, so for this segment, I would like to call out Stone.jaw.
Oh.
We scheduled a game of Grimdark Future, and then you
What did I do?
already had a game scheduled with Tyler?
No, I didn't. Tyler jumped in on that.
Okay.
We had a game scheduled. It's Tyler's fault.
Okay, so it's Tyler's fault for that.
I
And
like
then-
the idea of calling people out via the podcast.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
people, if you are hearing this right now, please submit your beef and we will shout it out on the air.
on the Coke Zero Shit Talk sponsored segment.
Submit your beef is a very funny bit.
And if not, just submit it to me and I'll put it in the zine.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's better.
Hobby spice, dude.
So, yeah, we were supposed to play, and then it was like, oh, well, the whole crew's coming through. So it was like, let's do a 4-man, which I think I'm comfortable saying at the ripe age of 34. 4-player tabletop games suck.
Oh, big time, big time. That was a bad idea.
I think they're fine in skirmish.
I think they're great in skirmish,
Yeah.
but
they're doable.
I think that if you go in with the mindset of this will be the same amount of time as a regular kill team game, but you're playing a 4-player kill team game, it's bad.
Yeah.
It sucks. And a 4-player army game was not the vibe.
No.
Even though I was the one that was like, we need 4 players. Let's make it 2v2.
Yep.
I think it's cool if you just go in with like you have to have like, this is how we're going to play this
Yes.
big game. Like
Yeah,
Terry is the leader of this faction and Gage is playing it, but it's like, oh, Terry's, okay, Gage, go do this. I'm going to activate next.
Yeah. I also wonder, though, if, and this is like a very first world spoiled problem for us, I wonder if it's because the hype was just too much. Like, there's too many people are hanging, right? I want to see Ben's fucking sick
Yes.
World War II game.
That's why I didn't want to do playtest night at the studio when everyone's hanging.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hear you. It's like it was too much, too quick, and then it happened too late too. We didn't start playing until like 9:30.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, why don't we get drinks? Oh,
Yes.
why don't we go get snacks?
Why don't we order Chinese?
Why don't we
Chinese
order
food is
Chinese
here,
food?
and
Yeah,
it's like,
Chinese
great.
food is here. Let's start eating.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, yeah. I mean, granted, I only had one model. I played the Harridan.
That's not true.
Okay, well, yeah, you're right.
You had 21 models.
Yeah, the Harridan actually shit out 20 Hormigons, but or I'm sorry, Assault Beast or whatever they're called.
Come on, forget about it.
But no, that game was fun. That game was fine.
It was cool. I just like I got really tired
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
towards the
Yeah,
end.
you guys stayed in that one spot the entire game.
When 1,500 points just gets plopped on the board, it's like, well, we're not leaving this spot.
I think it would be cool to get back, like to play a game just one-on-one, because
Yes.
my first game of the campaign, which has been going for 2.5 months now, which I think is fine, because I think if you're playing a campaign, you know what I mean? It's
It's fine.
it's fine.
Listen, Sargos isn't going anywhere.
It's
Even
not
when the
going
campaign
anywhere.
ends,
That's
it's
what I mean.
always there.
It's always there.
And everybody's has their own little stories that they've started to create. And, you know, I still think of the Eric's Hobby Workshop thing where he's just like, sometimes you just want to make stuff and kind of set it up and make it look cool. And like, that's enough.
There was a very distinct moment where Terry looks at all of us. He goes, "What if we set all our models up, took a few pictures, and then just rolled to see who the winner was?" And we're all like, "Ha ha 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 ha!" And then you look over at Terry, and he's like serious. No, he's like looking at us like, "No,
never.
no."
I would never do such a thing.
He's like, "No, I think that's what we should do."
But
There's
it would
something
be kinda
about
cool.
that, like, because when I was little, like watching my brothers play Necromunda, I didn't really care about the game.
Right.
I cared about like them talking about what their guys were doing.
Yeah,
and
role-playing.
like they're role playing.
Yeah,
like a
that's
bounty
all I care
hunter's
about.
like looking at my guy, he's shooting back and forth, blah blah blah. And he falls down or whatever. Go and pick him up. I steal his gun. Like that's the cool stuff. I don't care about all the dice
Totally.
rolling. Like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I wish there was an easier way to like make that happen with our games. And I know it is possible, but like I wish there was like a structured way to do it rather than just like, well, we'll just figure it out. Because like when
Yeah.
you're just figuring it out, sometimes it's like harder for some people to do
Exactly. You're working with two separate brains.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be like an OSR style army game.
Because when we played
Oh,
Zona
that's an
Alpha,
idea.
it is an idea. There is
It's mine. No one steal it.
okay.
More for the listeners, not you. Stop writing it down.
There's a Kickstarter that's already been put up as soon as
By
this
me.
was as soon as this
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
published.
Sponsored by Squarespace.
Yeah, somebody put it into some computer program and it spit out some garbage, and they're selling it.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
When we played Zona Alpha, though, we set up all the brutalist apartment buildings, and we didn't go in a single one.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what I want to do. Though.
Yeah.
I want my
I want
little
it to
guy
go
to
in.
go in the building. I
Yeah.
want him to sweep every floor to get to the floor with the item and then get out. But it takes 15 turns
Yeah.
to do that, so I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you look at the not to call out LVO because that's my only touch point for competitive gaming, I guess, at this point. But you look at like Warhammer official
Yeah,
tournament,
5 pieces of terrain.
5 pieces of L-shaped terrain, right? Yes, that works for telling the story of an army game.
You're not even telling a story though.
I mean, in that level, yeah, you're crunching numbers and you're just pushing plastic around for no other reason, just to crunch more numbers. But I wonder if it's like a big Zona Alpha board that like we had, like a 6x4 of just all these buildings. Every single one can be explored.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is just better off being a role playing game. Like if there's just
think
too
it
many
is.
rules in the way.
I think it is because it's like when I go because I tried crunching it down where it's like how could we do this where I can do this in turns and it's not like punishing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it kept coming back to like, okay, my guy goes in the building and his movement is equal to the amount of floors he can to search and find items and do all this. And I'm like, why do I have to do all this to make this make sense?
I was going to say,
while I'm playing?
is this like a mind? It's like, what is the problem here? Is it a Steve problem because of the mindset, or is it a mindset or the problem of the game? You know what I mean? It's like
it's definitely a Steve mindset because the game works as it is
Yes,
intended.
yeah.
But I want more out of it. And it's just a role playing thing.
I'm not going into Twilight Imperium being like, okay, I need to have a silly voice the whole game.
No.
But I'm gonna.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting upset that if Leland is not making a silly voice the
No.
whole game. You know what I mean?
But I'm not upset about Alpha.
No, I know,
But
I know.
I just wish it had that. And it comes down to like I need to blend RPGs with these games more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And I wonder how much you could, like, we've talked about how much you can remove from a game before it like breaks. And we've talked about games too that don't have measuring systems. But like, I wonder if like you had 3 characters and it was an I go, you go. And it's literally just me picking up my model and being like, I'm hiding behind these things. You're like, you're just moving it. Like,
My intention is I go here and I hide.
yeah, you don't even have to say that. You could just like, it's like when you're a kid and playing with action figures and you're like, this guy's hiding behind here. And it's like, you're not measuring it out. You're like, this is what this guy would do next. You go. And then the other person's just playing a chess piece and they're just going like, okay, my guy's going to go into this building. You go. And then at a certain point, you don't even have to say like, you go or whatever. He's moved. You see him's done. You're like, I'm going to move here. This guy's going to go in this building. It's like, sometimes I feel like the tools to actually play the game will get in the way of playing the game when you're looking for a role-playing experience. Because at least to me, and maybe this is definitely not for everybody, but to me, I want to play like I played with action figures when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I want to be like,
You started doing that at the last round. You're
know.
like, my bikes just go all the way over here, and we're like, yeah, okay.
Well, I had like Binky was standing there and the bikes rolled past him and I was like, Binky like takes his axe and then like wraps it around this bike and jumps on the back and he's like riding it like water skis. And he's just getting pulled. And then I was like, then the bike stops and he steps on the bike and jumps over and he's now in combat with this guy.
Yep.
And Tyler's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was like, there's like no rule. I didn't even like measure how far the bikes went. I was like, they roll all the way up here, they stop, and then Binky jumps off of it. And it's fun when you can do that.
But the thing is, though, it realistically, mechanically, you probably just cut a turn out of just movement, maybe, right?
And that's just to get into the action.
Right. So it's like, did that really actually change much? It'd be different if it's like, okay, turn 1, my bikes move all the way up into melee. It's like, okay, well, that's a little different than what you did.
Exactly. And I think if there's like a mutual trust, you can both kind of play this game where, once again, going back to what 2 episodes ago, where you're just trying to tell an interesting story.
Yeah.
You can kind of just like make up the rules as you go. And as long as the other person's like, that's neat, like that's following the rules.
But I think the problem is no middle ground, like the trust.
Yeah.
Like, because you have to play with someone that you know is going to be okay with the thing that you're doing, or at least be able to have the conversation of like, I was thinking like my guy could go up here and do this. Like, do you think that's acceptable? Like, do you think that's cool? Like, does that work for you?
If MAGA Ian is listening to this right now, he is totally not down with this. Like, we have friends in the War Council that like, I mean, MAGA Ian is a freaking player of the game.
Yeah.
Right.
He knows the rules. He measures his shit, and he is good at being strategic. If you're like, Binky jumps on this bike and rides up, like, a lot of people aren't going to be cool with that. And that's because like these games are made for everybody. They're made for MAGA Ian.
Yeah.
And they're also, if you want to, made for the people who just want to play with action figures. But it's hard.
I wonder if that could be our first collective brainstorm. The action figure
Figure game? I mean,
how to make action figures the game where there's minimal rules and it's just us playing toys.
Sniper Town, dude.
It's
literally Sniper Town.
We got to get Nino here to just like play his game, and then it's like, all right, write that down.
Getting an actual kid to be like, show us how you play with toys, and we're gonna write down what you do and sell it as a game.
You know, but the thing is, and it kind of ties into our main topic. It's like, that's what's most memorable.
Totally. Absolutely.
It's like, that's what you're looking back on, and that's like the feeling that you want from these things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Or to kind of what sparked most of this for this episode's topic, I think a lot of what you're looking back on is what you want from it, whether you did it or not.
Yeah.
So,
like the expectations of what it's going to be like.
I don't know why I'm like alluding to it, not just saying what the topic is.
Yeah, let's just like dive into it.
Yeah, so I put a question out on Instagram the other day, just solely because I was looking through the City Fight book.
The like third edition City Fight or fourth edition, right?
Third, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's just laid out in such a way, and I had just my mom, shout out my mom, found the original BattleTech loadout book like at her job, and she's like, "Do you want this? Do you care about mechs at all?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude! Like hell yeah,
Mom, you rock.
yeah." And the layout and everything is such a period of its time, and the same with the City Fight book. It's very much like a period of its time. And I just put the question out. I said, "Do you think we'll look at games now, like in this current era, in the future, as nostalgic as we look at old games?"
Yeah.
And to what we were just saying about of having a 7-year-old write Sniper Town, I think a lot of it is like just what you want from it, and like that nostalgia comes from what you want from it, whether you got it or not. You just want to see the hopefulness from it. So it's like it'd be very interesting to see us write like action figure the game, be like,
I'll do it right after this. I don't fucking care.
yeah, but I mean,
because that's all my brain's. All I am thinking about right now is how you make.
yeah, it's
Move
like
my guy around and tell story game
right.
without
how
a
much
million
of the
dice
rules
mechanics
can you
bullshit.
break? Yeah,
Because do you even I want to search this building and see if the thing that we're looking for is in here. Do you even do that as a dice roll, or do you do it as like, well, do you think it should be in there?
It's
Like,
like,
does it make sense to be in there, or should it be like, oh, we'll just roll a couple dice and check some table or something?
action economy versus luck or
Yeah.
RNG.
Like, chance operations though are like interesting too. Like
I
the
love
random
tables.
elements.
I love rolling to see if it happens, because then that tells a story in itself.
And like maybe then that is, not to get too deep into action figure the game, but like, maybe the basic components of like, I move here, just pick up your guy and move him. Like, don't, if it looks like it's about
Logical.
6 to 8 inches, maybe 9 inches or whatever, maybe you got to run and you're like, there's no way I'd make it there and still be able to
Yeah.
shoot. Like, you
This
will
model's
know.
fast,
You're
so
not
he's
an
moving.
idiot. You
Yeah,
know it's
yeah.
about 6 inches or about 12 inches.
Yeah.
You can figure it out. You'll be able to shoot or not. But maybe then it's like the game is entirely D100 tables. And it's just like, okay, now I'm going to go search this. Okay, roll a D100. And like, maybe then it's like you find this or whatever. What do you do with it?
Right.
And then
right.
you're like, fuck, it's a plasma. It's a window mounted plasma cannon I found in this room. And then you're like, okay, cool. I post up at the plasma cannon. You go. And then the guy's like running around outside. Like, I'm going to try and hide behind this car. Okay, I'm shooting my plasma cannon at that
the car.
Roll a D100 and see what happens. And it's like, well, then it's like Iron Sworn in a way where it's just like,
You're rolling on the Oracle table over and
Yes.
over again. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
sometimes the Oracle table like sucks a little bit.
It does. And that's where I'm
But
saying
the blend.
the push-pull
Yeah.
of like what is worth exploring there and what isn't.
so tough to try and market this game to people who have different brains, though.
Absolutely.
I think on the front page you'd have to put, this is not for your average war gamer.
It's like, but it's not even for like a person who wants to war game almost. Like, it's for a person who wants to play action figures.
Yeah.
It's for a person who wants to have Street Sharks versus your, like, like the person who is willing to expand their mind a little
Do you
bit.
think
I say we play this after.
I literally am down. And it would be as easy as going and grabbing
We'll
a
just
few
grab
models
stuff and
and being like moving them
now I'm
around.
more excited about that than talking about on the podcast.
Well, I think I think
Yeah,
like,
we gotta take a break. We gotta take a break.
this question of like nostalgia and like will nostalgia exist in 40K or like current modern day 40K when we get older kind of thing. It's the same thought about why games felt nostalgic when we were a kid or like, looking back.
I mean, if we're answering the question,
Yeah.
question, I think no.
Right.
Only because I think there's a different level of heart put into those early eras that they're like now it's corporate greed,
Exactly.
money,
How fast can you get it out?
shareholders. Back then it was like, oh, we have the sickest artists making the sickest stuff.
Yeah.
The rules might not have been the coolest thing because it's of the era. So you have pages and pages and pages of text or rules that are broken, stuff that doesn't really work. And it's like, but that doesn't matter.
But was it sick then?
I don't know.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So a lot of the answers I got were like, third edition was so sick, it was my favorite. And then a lot of people were like, I fucking hated fourth, and I will never look back at that edition being fun. And you're like, okay.
But there was heart put into those games.
Yes. I'm just saying from like the rules perspective of, I think that's where nostalgia is such a fine line. And we talked about this in the Patreon episode, not an ad at this point, as many as I've jammed into this episode. But it's like, what is triggering that nostalgic response, right? It's like
the fun you had with it,
right?
Your tie to those events with those things.
Yes, and the people that never got to, but will like thumb through it, or like even now, right? I wasn't around when second edition D&D was popular.
No.
Yeah.
I look through those books though, and that is nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
That is like,
because you probably used to flip through those books.
Yeah, when I was younger, yes, I would flip through them, and it was always I didn't play second edition until fucking 4 years ago, but it was the most. It's the most like I don't want to say producing, but it's like the most.
It made your brain buzz.
It made my brain buzz in a way that nothing I look at now does, and it's interesting to say like, okay, well, are people going to think that about 10th edition?
No. Are people like, imagine
40K.
you're a 14-year-old who's like got his hands on 10th edition. Like, will they look back at 10th edition and feel that sense of nostalgia?
How can we?
I mean,
there's no way to know, but it's also like, I guess,
in the words of Tyler, there's no way
to know. I mean, there's a lot of factors to it, but like that kid picks that up for the first time. That could be like a gateway into a whole world, that like art they've never seen before. Even though we look at it and we're like, this sucks, but like that kid might have never seen something that looks like that. So maybe in a way, it will be nostalgic for them.
I wonder, and like that's where
sucks,
the question is,
because they don't have the Carl Kapinskis, they don't have the John Blanche illustrations.
But does it? Because that's your perception of it.
No, but
you know what I mean? Maybe in their brain, they're going to look back and they're going to go, dude, I can't believe ChatGPT drew this. This was so
don't go
sick.
there.
Please don't do that.
No. That was
Let's
a bit.
use like
That was a
another
bit.
like what I don't know one of these magic artists that are like making art, digital based artwork.
Right.
Now.
No. That was a bit, and it was funny, and everyone laughed. But what
No,
I'm
I
saying
didn't
is,
laugh.
what I'm saying is, I don't know who drew the cover of 10th edition.
I couldn't tell you.
But and not just because of GW's shitty practices, but if a 14-year-old kid picks up 10th edition right now and they're like, this is my John Blanche.
This is Warhammer.
You know what I mean? Yeah, this is peak Warhammer. Going into the future, them looking at that, I think will generate their response. And yeah, and if it is a gateway, it will still have it.
I don't know, because think about it like this. Someone who gets into World of Warcraft, because this is another thing that ties into our nostalgia factor of like, I got into, not me, but like, I got into World of Warcraft at Cataclysm.
Yep.
Did they look at World of Warcraft of like, Cataclysm was World of Warcraft because all the expansions that come after it? But there was so much before that that was obviously, no, like, this is World of Warcraft. Like, Lich King, Burning Crusade, Vanilla, like, that's World of Warcraft to me. And I guess Cataclysm's like a bad example because Cataclysm was still decent, but like, you know, everything after that.
I know what you're saying, but I mean, it's in the title. It literally altered the game dramatically.
But like Mists of Pandaria, like I can't think of anyone that looks at that and is like, that's World of Warcraft.
I mean,
maybe for rating, maybe some of the stuff is fun, but like
I was gonna say, once again, there's different audiences because I have friends that are like, MOP was the best mechanically that the game ever played.
Those people are dumb.
And that's the thing. It's like, where is that nostalgia?
But is that because they don't? It's because they don't know.
They don't know. It's the same with Magic, right? Everyone's favorite set is like the set they joined in, or the one after it,
or the one they drafted at their
Yes.
Like I played Kaladesh a lot for Standard. I played Standard like every Friday for Kaladesh and like Aether Revolt, all that stuff. And that was really fun.
Yeah.
Like it was a really good time of Magic for me, even though, you know, Wizards of the Coast, that's like probably right when they started getting really bad with like making secret lairs and all the bullshit. And
masterpieces starting to ruin the economy of Magic.
Yeah. Like, you know, but I had a lot of fun with a set that really wasn't that great.
Kaladesh is looked at pretty highly. But yes, to your point, I understand. But yeah, Gatecrash for me, same shit. Return to Ravnica 2 is like the coolest thing to me. All the guilds, oh my god, this is so sick. And then it's like it's not that.
A guy from '93 ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Legends is so sick, dude. You're wrong.
And at this,
no one's saying that. But
like, to this point, I wonder what a teenager's relationship to Warhammer is even like now.
Are there any teenagers that listen to this podcast?
Probably, please shout out
If
there
you are,
is,
please let us know.
Come over to the In Rust We Trust Discord and actually tell us about like what your relationship is like to the game right now, because I wonder if
Do you love it? Like, do you love current Warhammer?
I mean,
and, like, does
people-
it speak to you?
people our age though love current Warhammer, so it's like.
But like, do they love it because it's like mechanically, like it's easy to play, a lot, like that kind of
Yes.
stuff, or is it because the words on the pages, the art, the game mechanics, like everything speaks to you in like this is Warhammer. You know what I mean?
And I wonder though if those teenagers are, or anyway, like okay, so like put yourself into the mind of like a 15-year-old right now, and you have a book in front of you, and you have a handful of orc models. Like, I would hope that a teenager is still just putting those onto the table and just making pew pew noises.
Yeah.
I would hope that kids are still playing with toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are or not, and I don't know how much
Does that
we've
kid
kind of
have a cell
grown
phone?
away as from that as a
Yeah.
society of like, do kids? I mean, I'm sure there's kids who still play with toys, but like, I wonder how much of nostalgia is like collective, because when we were kids, we were all like playing with toys.
So another side of that point of like, because the reason this came as an episode is that was the most responses I've ever gotten on my Instagram, and it was extraordinarily overwhelming. But a lot of it was, is it tied to generational interest, right?
Yes,
because
totally,
a lot of
right.
it too is like, okay, a lot of the people now, especially on our side of things, what about indies?
Yes,
Compared to your big box games. It's like, are people going to be nostalgic for Necropolis in the future? Are people going to be nostalgic for Morkborg in the future?
But it's such a smaller. Like, yes, I do think that is the case, because when a kid finds Necropolis, it's like,
Exactly.
what is this?
Right.
Like,
totally. And this is like your city
and,
fight.
and
You
this
never
is my
played City
second
Fight.
edition. Yeah, exactly. It truly is. It's going to be like someone seeing a fucking Tonks rulebook in the local library 20 years from now,
Blowing
like,
the dust off
whoa.
of this thing,
finding
being
an
like,
under the
what
dice
is
shirt
this?
at the local Goodwill.
Yeah, we won't talk about that one, but yeah, it's like, it's interesting to see like what level of buy-in or tie you have to either the era, the generation, the timing, what creates nostalgia. And then like that's kind of what we were diving into on the Patreon episode of like, that's where people fucking market it, and we'll try and we're bringing Chuck E. Cheese back for adults because they grew up with it as a kid, and it's like, that sucks. And
It sucks, and people should be freaking smarter than that.
Yeah.
You should be smarter than being able to just be bought and sold on SpongeBob-themed Magic the Gathering sets.
I don't know why you looked at me for that one. I only bought 3 sets of it. But.
No, but it's like... Beautiful. Snap that.
From our
Ice
sponsor?
cold Coca-Cola
It's not cold.
Zero.
It's not cold, I
No,
promise.
they're very not.
Use code HivesGum10 to get ice in your Coke Zero.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a whole nother kettle of fish, and I'm sorry that I just had a freak out about being bought and sold in our society
No, I mean,
today, and how everything is
But
uh,
here's the
commodified.
thing,
Everything is
right?
commodified.
Here's the thing. To a certain extent, maybe Chuck E. Cheese for adults is a bad example, but SpongeBob Magic cards, right? As much as I don't want to talk about this because it makes me uncomfortable, because Terry always makes fun of me for buying this product, but
I would never.
the thing is, someone younger that didn't grow up with SpongeBob
Yes.
is buying a Magic Secret Lair. Mm-hmm. Are they going to be nostalgic for SpongeBob? Like, is that the gateway to
That
nostalgia?
kid that didn't watch SpongeBob isn't buying SpongeBob Secret Lair.
But they might be.
But they
might be, I think, only in the aspect of, like, I'm a collector. Like, I don't think
This
random kid getting into Magic or playing Magic is buying SpongeBob Secret Lair to buy SpongeBob
I was gonna say,
Secret Lair.
this just might be a bad example.
No, I don't think it is, because now that you're talking about it, I think that the future of nostalgia might be based in this Marvel universe mindset.
Well,
if they have no affiliation to it, though, why would they?
What do you mean?
I'm
had no
trying to think
affiliation
of something
to second edition D&D, but it became my favorite thing to the point where I got the Lady of Pain tattooed on my knee.
but it was something that you were like enwrapped in. Like,
Yeah.
kid is not enwrapped in SpongeBob if they didn't grow up watching
but
it.
this is what I'm saying. This is a bad example, but
no, but I don't think it is. Like, I think that kids are wrapped in this idea that like all the Ready Player Ones are in my Ready Player
Fortnites.
One.
The
They are
Fortnites.
into the.
Yeah.
I will
Fortnite.
say the SpongeBob meme thing is like probably the selling point. Like, haha, funny
Yeah.
SpongeBob says no meme.
Spunny counterspell.
Yeah, like that might be the selling point there.
Yeah.
And so I wonder. I just like I'm so curious about what the future will be like. This will be very fun to see the next 20 years.
The death of everything
Everything I love.
everything just becoming one.
But the
hate
rise of the unique, I think, is something that
Yes.
we'll see. I think we would like going back to what you were saying with like blowing off the dusty tome of Tonks that you found in like the attic box where you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what is this? And you
Grandpa,
open
what's
it up and it
this?
glows gold,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
suddenly like a never-ending story.
It's uncured resin, actually.
Yeah, it's just like
VOCs in your lungs.
wow. But I think that people will probably look back at the original ideas that came out of this era currently that we're in and be like, these are interesting. Just like we look back at Games Workshop and we're like,
Because they were kind of the independent.
like whatever happened to
Realms of Chaos.
totally. They're going to look back at Necropolis and be like, whoa, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
this is really interesting. This is the whole world. And then it ties into the idea of like this Marvel Universe and Ready Player One thing, because instead of our nostalgia, which is based in one universe, the Warhammer universe, or a lot of it based in that one universe, their nostalgia will be based in many universes and many different stories, and they won't need to base it in one universe. Maybe.
I don't know, because
Yeah.
I think of when I was a kid, like the Marvel Universe thing. When I was a kid, I used to think that the idea of like Master Chief and fucking whatever coming together was cool.
Action figure
Like
mindset.
RoboCop and Master Chief fighting together is cool.
It is
But
cool.
as an adult, I'm like, I don't know why I look at it. I'm like, please don't ever do that.
Don't put your peanut butter in my chocolate.
Don't sully my two memories of two things that I like individually and put them
That's
in
a cool
thing.
thought.
But I think it's because
That's a cool
whenever
thought.
that's done, it's usually for money. It's
I was going to
not
say,
for,
it's a cash grab reason. That's
it's
why.
not a cool story being, because like
Yes.
Marvel, DC, they always did those crossover books of like Batman and Superman, or
Dude,
like,
I just read Aliens versus Batman.
dude, it's so sick.
It's sick.
It's so
very
sick.
And it I think your point is correct there. I think it's like, because it wasn't marketed, the book is not marketed any more than a regular Batman.
It was
book would be.
$4.
You know what I mean?
$4 you got
Yeah,
the
yeah,
comic.
yeah. And I got a comic where I could see Aliens versus Batman, and it didn't give me like a visceral reaction where I'm like looking away from this thing. It's like, no, this is just a cool thing we're gonna do.
And there's heart in it because it's drawn by people that want to be doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the story is being done by people that are like, no, this is a cool idea.
Yeah.
Let's explore this world of where Batman finds a crash ship with aliens on it.
Right. It's like so we always talk about the yo dude effect, I feel like, is what we'll coin it as, where it's like, yo dude, what if we did a fest where we had doom metal bands playing while we're playing Warhammer in the background? It's like, oh, let's make it work. You know what I mean?
so
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, dude, what if we had Batman fighting aliens? And it's like, okay,
And
yeah,
is that
Real
cool?
stoners on the couch in the basement.
dude, real shower thoughts for planning and shit. I mean, that's how it happens, though.
This is more informative than the last episode where we talk about doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Is that so? I'm trying to think of how to phrase this because I have two thoughts that come up with this. Is it cool because we saw when we were kids and we were more open-minded and less jaded? Do you think that people who were 50 at the time who grew up reading Batman are like, what the hell?
I read
is
Alien.
this
I read
bullshit.
I read Batman vs. Alien in like 2017. So no, it's just cool.
Yeah, but do you think the guy who was around when Batman was invented back in the Great Depression?
like,
I think it depends who you ask. Because some
Yeah,
old head might be like, yo, Alien was cool. I love Batman. But
Yeah,
some
and
guy might be a purist and,
and they're
say,
the ones that
no,
are saying,
no.
no SpongeBob in my magic.
Yeah.
I know, but then there's some people some people probably our age who think SpongeBob and Magic is like a really cool idea. Gage.
Yeah, Gage.
Gage.
What's wrong
But
with
that is a good
guy?
question.
It's perfectly fine. I love it.
Honestly, if you're a comic head, I would like to know your take on that. Because
Totally.
That's like a perfect example of like yucking a yum or like mixing the pot, and it. Well, like, is it okay? Is it cool? Like, do you like it? And it's all perspective. It doesn't. There's no right or wrong answer. It's your right or wrong answer.
I mean, this is like what Phil was talking about too.
Well, Phil hates nostalgia.
He does, but he also talks about how it's like the oh god, I lost it all. It's all gone.
Well, I think Phil hates that like there's a consumerist tie into nostalgia.
Yes.
Like Phil hates the opening of a Chuck E. Cheese for adults because he's like you're being bought and sold, and you're.
I can't think of a single thing Phil has ever said positively about nostalgia.
Yeah, probably not.
And then when we address being nostalgic, I feel like he boo-hoo it.
Yeah, he probably would.
Yeah,
That's why we love him.
that's it. That's gone. What was your second point?
My second point was, do you think that the Batman and Alien book is cool because the story is told in there, and that it's not, we made these cool, funny SpongeBob magic cards? It doesn't make any sense in the lore. There is no written reason why SpongeBob exists in Magic the Gathering. We are literally surface level as hell just trying to sell you a product that has SpongeBob on it.
I agree entirely with that.
I feel like I hate that, obviously, but would it be cooler
if SpongeBob came into Magic?
I'm saying, though, like, if they put the work in to make it make sense, would that be cooler, or would it always suck because Patrick Star is drawn?
Well, you got to
than
think
Jace the Mind
canonically.
Sculptor?
I think it's aesthetics.
Aesthetic mixture sucks.
Yeah.
Canonically, though, like planeswalking, technically these guys can go to every universe.
That's
if
what
you
I mean.
look at it through that lens, like, yes, he can go to fucking Marvel World and fucking pull Wolverine in to play Magic. Like,
Right.
sure. But
If
like,
they took the time to write that
but
story,
it's not
would
cool.
you like it?
No. I wouldn't like Jace the Mind Sculptor going to Bikini Bottom and recruiting SpongeBob to be a counterspell. I wouldn't.
But there's no difference from that to Batman fighting Alien.
Except for aesthetically, which I also understand.
aesthetically,
But if
and
you draw
it's a standalone story.
if you
it's
draw
not. It's,
a grim dark SpongeBob, does that change your point of
No.
view? You know what I mean?
Dude, real like has like a Full Metal Jacket helmet on that's just says "Born to Kill," and it's just like SpongeBob
it's that
with
meme of the scarred soldier with all the horrors behind him.
Dude, I'd buy that print in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'll get that tattooed.
I'll
on me.
Photoshop that later.
Yeah.
No, but I do think it's based on the content. Like Batman vs. Alien is cool subject matter. It's also a standalone thing where they don't ever address it besides the other
Yeah, it's
Batman
not like
vs.
Batman
Alien.
did go.
It is
to
a
that.
story that sits by itself on a shelf.
It is a yo dude thing.
Literally. Yeah.
And I think that's like, yeah, you want to do Jace the Mind Sculptor goes on an event with SpongeBob, and it's like, sure, yeah, that might make it feel better. If they do, like, you guys put the effort to put a little plot around why this is existing.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Like kids' chibi version of the Jace the Mind Sculptor, which they've done in the past with like card art, stuff like that.
Still sells for $2,000.
Which is like, I would agree with that a hair more than it being a cash grab.
Yeah. And yeah, to your point here, yeah, absolutely. I think even bringing it back to the topic of not just bullying me for buying SpongeBob cards.
I'm still going to do that.
I think the nostalgia factor is the work being put in.
Yeah.
And I think to what Steve originally said about this is like, there is definitely less heart and soul in a lot of the bigger box games now where there's not heart and soul. And I think
hundreds of people work there. Like,
yes,
it's not just a guy who's
passionately drawing a sick fucking mech punching a guy out of a cockpit in a BattleTech manual. You know what I mean? It's like, no, this is what we do. And I personally, my biggest takeaway from that when I posted it the other day and us talking about it, I think there will not be nostalgia for the bigger box.
Because of that.
I think people will easily skip over these editions. And I think the indies
especially with the release schedule that they're doing.
I mean, that too. It's like the consumerism aspect, I think, is going to stop the nostalgia.
Yeah. This kind of goes back to your chat about the guy maintaining his castle. Like, there's no there's no drive, there's no heart in it. It's like, why am I going to do it? Why do I care? Just I'm getting paid to be here.
No, and then like if you think about it from like an artist standpoint, it's like the best artists, in my opinion, but probably also like the people who are, quote unquote famous for making art, like their art felt fresh and spontaneous. Because like they weren't following any sort of like rules when they were making art. They were just doing it. So it's like they had the drive to make something new. They had the drive to make something at all. And that drive pushed them to get the work done. Once that drive is replaced by wanting a paycheck, and there's not as much, like you'd feel like you don't have as much ownership maybe in like a company, and it's just like you're got to make the art for this, and you're like, okay, I guess I'll work today and make the art for this. You're not going to try out something new. You're not going to try and make like, you know, like when Blanche and Kopinski and all these freaking guys were making these artworks, it was just like, dude, I'm going to draw the craziest freaking thing. And, you know,
Picture these two guys with like laser guns standing in front of a giant techno spire in a wasteland. Like,
and I imagine there was a lot more yo dude moments in early Games Workshop creation.
what does
that
British
there
yo
isn't.
dude sound like?
Oi, wanker. Gotta be, right?
Yeah, you just upset half the listener count.
Just want to remind everyone that our highest listener base is in the United Kingdom. So,
Well, that's got to be pretty close.
Chime in, let us know.
Yeah, UK listeners, how close was that?
yeah, we need every country's yo dude.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
chime in with the your yo dude variant.
But I feel like all of those yo dude things, they make art and they make storytelling and they make all this stuff feel very fresh because there's excitement baked into it. Like you open up that City Fight thing and it is vibrating.
Yes.
With excitement.
Yes.
You could feel it. You could feel the inspiration going through it. And you don't, I think, maybe this is just me, but I think you don't feel that with a lot of current high money production things that are being put out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and unfortunately, I mean, we're just shitting on GW, but that's Hivescum.
I mean, they're the biggest miniature company in the world.
Yeah.
So
The amount of reuse in editions, it's like, oh, I feel like I've seen this art before, and you're like, oh, it's because it's from last edition's codex, and now it's in the main book, or this or that, or
yeah.
I think a lot of that too is to your point. It's just being fucking garbled together.
That's when that was like 6th edition when that all started.
It's like
reusing
just like,
codex covers or very similar like look, palette, everything. Like,
it's lost that touch. It's
like
just,
you can't even tell it's a new edition.
no, you literally cannot. And then people are like, oh, you can tell because there's a red line under the logo compared to the old one, and I'm like, what the?
That's like comparing alpha to not alpha, but like revised to unlimited.
Yeah,
like
that's a magic reference, guys.
Sorry.
Yeah. However, going back to what we were saying about, like, I keep using Necropolis as an example because it's an amazing example to use. Take a look at Necropolis.
Mm-hmm.
That game feels like, once again, it vibrates.
Yes.
Once again, you look at that game and you're like, there is passion here.
Yes.
And there is drive to get this thing done. And it is clean and nice and beautiful. And then you have Martin McCoy's fucking artwork in there.
Yes.
And you open that up and there's like mind-altering shit that you're seeing.
Yes.
Just like if you were to see a Kopinski.
Right.
Martin, I hope you feel pretty good that I just compared you and Carl Kopinski. But
he's smiling right now. He's smiling right now for sure.
But like, it has that same life. Just like if you were to see a Kopinski artwork in those like early editions.
It's funny you brought it up too because Martin is action figure the game type player.
Yes.
Every
Yeah.
game I've ever played with him, he's like, yeah.
I think it'd be really cool if we did this.
And
It's
you
like,
know what?
hell yeah.
So is Blanche, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
is Blanche. Like all these guys, they just want to have fun and they don't want to get bogged down. And maybe there's something to be said for that.
That's my motto.
I don't want to be bogged down.
Baby YOLO.
Baby YOLO. Baby yo dude.
Baby oink
Yeah,
cuno.
yo, baby yo dude. Before we go and do some questions from the Hive, is there anything
Let's
else?
wrap it up.
Yeah.
What is your takeaway from this?
Exactly. I would love to, because I feel like there's so many strings hangling out there where we just didn't handle anything, and we just yapped, which is fine.
I think
We don't need to solve the world's problem.
No.
Yes,
right
we
now.
do today. That's what the patrons are paying us for.
the question
At patreon.com/Hivescum, where they can use code Hivescum10
Oh my
to get a
God.
free Coke Zero.
to get a free Coke Zero.
Dude, it would be funny to start sending Coke Zeros through the mail.
Just exploding. in fucking packages.
Is there anything liquid, perishable, or fragile?
Yes!
No, there isn't. I promise. Put it in the pressurized chamber.
Dripping.
But anyways, yeah, like you were saying, Steve, going back to the main question, it's like, will there be nostalgia in the future for modern games?
Well, if we're looking at big box brands, the answer is no. My answer is wholeheartedly no. But I think if we're looking at the necropolises of the world, I think yes. So it's depends where you're looking.
Yeah. Yes. That's a great way to put it. It truly depends where you are looking. And yeah. I mean, that's a great way to do it. Great way to.
Because I mean, look at even books of the same age from those old Warhammer books that we all love, or Necromunda even, because that was that's later. That's later stuff. But like Necromunda was like a world changing book to look at for me.
Yeah.
Like there's books of that same era that from indie developers, like guys just writing books and releasing themselves, that suck.
Yeah.
Like we've had them in the studio. We have them in the studio. People just give a shit. And it's like
some right now.
And it's like sure, a guy put like, I wanted to put out a game about bugs fighting in a war. It's like, yeah, but this sucks.
Yeah.
Like you might have heart in it, but that doesn't really translate either.
Heartbreakers?
What?
That's the term, right? Heartbreakers?
Oh, I don't know.
You release a book. Arcane Brian is smiling right now. I believe that's the term for it in RPGs. You put all your heart and soul into it, and you sell like under 10 copies.
Yeah. Yes. So that, like, their heart doesn't necessarily translate to good or nostalgic or meaningful, but
or
like
inspiring or anything.
Yeah, but like it's again what you're looking at.
Yeah. And what we're kind of exposing the future of wargamers to, which hopefully, if you really think about it, hopefully the people like listening to this, the people in the In Rust We Trust Discord, the people who like are then able to teach the next generation of gamers games, and I hate to say it, but potentially thank Trench Crusade, because that might open up.
Oh, 100%.
Right? That's
100%. That is, Trench Crusade is doing what those old editions of Warhammer did for us. Like, it might not resonate with us right now because it's oversaturated for us. Like, we've seen a million things. Like, there's still, so much out there. But for the average kid playing 40K, like, when they pick up Trench Crusade, their mind probably melts looking at that.
Yeah, and I mean,
Right.
I think the same reason I was a curmudgeon about it is the same reason why it is great for that reason.
Yes.
Saying, like, yes, a lot of people that are ill-informed are saying this is the first indie war game. And it's like, fuck you, you're wrong.
It's kind of eye-rolly.
But the people that are getting into it because of that, it's fucking awesome.
And you've stepped through the doorway into the...
You are now here.
Into the indie scene, even though it's like millions of dollars of cash floating around
But
it. It's you're still stepping through the doorway away from the corporate shell that is the world that you live in.
Like the $1 million thing, like the money is there because of the names tied to this game. The people making this game are gamers.
Yes.
Like Tomas is like you couldn't have a better person just as like a design person that cares about gaming.
But that's the
behind
thing,
it
because there's care. You know what I mean?
Yes,
it's like
the heart is
because
there.
there's heart. Totally.
Yes.
The heart is there.
Yeah, and that I think will be huge. I think that will open up that'll open up younger eyes on Necropolis. That'll open up younger eyes on Space Gits. Like they'll see these games and be like, oh, wait, what's this thing over here? And like, just like how I was attracted to Space Gits, like you're going to get somebody's eyes away from Games Workshop into Trench Crusade, and then all of a sudden the goofy kid is going to see Space Gits and be like, I like that. That's amazing. Like that exists.
You got to think that's all internet kind. Like sometimes the internet's good because it's like you're in a Discord, some kid just posts Space Gits, and it's like, I've never heard of that. What is that? And then they go down a rabbit hole and find all these other branching games. Like
how many times in the group chat does Paul or me or Tyler or someone be like, yo, check this out? And we're all like, wait, this is actually sick.
Yeah.
In between all the trash posts and
yeah. Yeah. So I think eyes and open doors.
And open hearts.
And open hearts.
And open minds.
So true.
Stop.
And you can get all of that with Hivescum 10 at better.
Oh my God. Shut up already. Anyways, Gage, since you punished us, you can say it.
Say
the thing, do the thing.
I gotta find the fucking questions first.
Wait, but you got to say. So, yeah. Anyways, head on over to the In Rest We Trust Discord, and you can tell us if you agree or don't agree there. Gage. We are going to do some
Questions from the Hive.
That might have been our loudest questions from the Hive ever.
It's pretty good.
That sounded way more echoey. Ever.
Yeah, I tried.
Ever.
And Gage is going through all of the questions right now.
Here we go. You know, there's a little silly ones sometimes. Right?
Yeah, you got
We're gonna have
a
to deal
little
with that.
palate cleanser of a silly one.
We're gonna have to deal with that. Question from Hildegard von Fingerbangen asks, will Under the Dice 2026 have a Warhammer 40k tournament?
Oh, no.
Repeat that back.
Oh, okay. A question from Hildegard von Fingerbangen asks, will Under the Dice 2026 have a Warhammer 40k tournament?
No.
No.
Why?
However,
Space. And I don't
Yeah.
care to facilitate that. If you want to be at the site B and do that,
Yeah, true.
you can run it and
Listen.
host it and do everything you want, and you can put it under our banner. I'm happy to support.
Next year, they also said the gazebo would be open fully.
Ooh, that's
Well,
gonna be
the
a
gazebo
beautiful
ain't that big.
thing.
No, they said there's going to be a full thing back there, like a open barn. So she said,
Yeah, another
Our Lord and Savior-
$800.
yeah, I mean, maybe.
Per day?
Our Lord and Savior said there may be another 50 spots over there. So,
If you want to play sci-fi, play Wanted Reward.
yeah.
Instead of that, play
True.
some Wanted
I think
Reward.
that's
Yeah, but people want tournaments. Like, people
No,
love
I
the idea of
know.
a sanctioned tournament.
I mean, there's a reason people love Nemo.
You know what
Yeah.
I was thinking? Dude, Nemo's pretty cool, huh?
What if we play...
there's actually a Mordheim event down the street starting for the next 9 weeks.
Really?
At Off the Wall. Off the Wall is doing this guy Andy that's been going. I think he came to the first Nemo. He's
saw
like
him
a local
post in the
head.
Discord.
Yeah, he's
didn't.
running the Mordheim League at Off the Wall Games. So if you're in New England, preferably in Western Massachusetts, there is a Mordheim League going on. Probably by the time this is releasing, I think they're going to be getting started.
So cool.
It's going to be awesome. I've been talking to Andy a lot about it. He wants to do a lot of narrative stuff going on in the shop when people are playing, and they're going to do a big kickoff game and then also a big ending game. So he's got a bunch of stuff cooked, and I think he's using the Nemo packet as the baseline for his rule set that he made.
That's cool.
Would we ever do Necromunda, you think? Would there ever be a...
Blurs is running it at
Nino?
Arcane Con.
Yeah, he's running Necromunda there.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I believe we've had a conversation about him doing his own little thing at Under the Dice.
That would be so cool.
I would love
Especially
to
Blurs.
switch it up one year and just be like, yeah, it's not Nemo, it's Nino.
Yeah, it's Nina.
Yeah. But, I mean, the beauty of it being 3 days now is, okay, next year it's not a regiments thing because that's not what we're into.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's Necromunda Day.
Maybe
You know
it
what I
is
mean?
Nino.
Shit like that. Even right now.
Narrative Necromunda Day.
Yeah, I think I was just talking to Fowler. I think they're doing the Goonhammer Open right now, Invitational, whatever it's called. I'm sorry.
Is that this weekend?
It's happening right this second as we were
Very
recording.
cool.
I think they're doing different games that all tie into the same narrative, though, he said.
That's so, dude. I would
So, but,
love
like,
for us to do a
systems.
day where
Systems,
we're all
though.
running different systems, but it's all in
Yeah.
the same.
The Rogue One effect.
Yes.
Yeah, Rogue.
Oh, Necromunda's over here. Those missions will end
they're
up
stealing
deciding.
the plans, and then they're going to go into this game. Yeah, we have to.
That would take so much coordinating, but we could do it.
It would
we
be
could do it.
cool.
A question from Apocrypha Now. When is Hivescum invading the UK again?
In August.
What's your current schedule, Steve? You're going to August?
End of August.
I think I'm going end of September.
You guys aren't linking up.
No,
Going for different reasons.
Vacation time.
I wanted to go to the Necropolis event,
My
but
man's got me down.
it's like
Peter put it on my fucking birthday, dude. I can't go.
I think it's like
That sounds
the
like a
week
great
after.
birthday.
No, I
the week
wish.
after I would come home from England is when Necropolis is.
Yeah.
but it's like too long of a stint to
No,
go.
it's 2 weeks after.
And
Yeah.
I wish I could just be there the whole time, but it's like an unreasonable amount of time.
I might still, it's not like that anyone listens to this pod is going to be there, but I still might try and make it for the Necropolis event. I might still try and show up.
That seems like an incredible waste of money.
What the fuck do I care about money for?
Yeah, I
What
don't
the hell am I working for if I can't waste it?
Yeah.
You know what? I could probably go.
Yeah.
Why not?
2
dude?
weeks after, I'm probably working.
Why not, dude? Dude, a 5-hour plane ride feels like fucking nothing. I would take that any day.
Yeah,
for
but
any
it's
trip.
that's not the problem. The problem is 5-hour plane ride with 2 to 3 hours in front and behind of getting to and from airports.
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
Terry, when are you going to the UK?
Let's do some math here. 5 years? 6 years? Something like that? What's like a
No.
little bit of cashola? The kids are out of daycare.
No, there is rumor of Hype's making an appearance at a convention next year.
Yeah, Arcane Con will be there.
No, in the UK.
Wow, that'll be pretty neat.
For everyone that's going.
You'll be there.
I will be there, apparently. I will be there.
Okay, stop it. All right, next question from Squared Paints.
Oh.
What models/themes do each of you gravitate towards? Now, generally, I think that's a very vague question.
I think someone
right?
else has to answer
I
for the
don't
other
know.
person.
Oh.
I think that's a great idea.
Oh, that is a great idea.
But this is also interesting coming from Matt because he has such a crazy way of looking at things.
His models all look different.
So-
he gave me some some Nurgle
Like
Chaos
Plague Bears?
Chosen,
Oh.
Yeah.
and they are so different from like the rest of the stuff he paints.
Yeah. So he Terry, I know you don't use Instagram. I don't know if you remember that app.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've just
love
been I'm
advertising.
so ad pilled if I said the word wrong. So I've seen this bust by Neko Galaxy Minis 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people posting this.
Yep. The
But-
sculpt was made by them.
Yes,
But
yes,
the
yes,
paint
yes.
job is...
The paint job is Squared Paints. Now he made this like alt goth demon girl and with a typo negative album cover.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, he has such a crazy way of like looking
Right?
at these things. So I thought this question was interesting coming from him because I feel like he probably it's like
It'd be hard to pin him down.
it'd be hard to pin him down. But I remember what was it, the Vistarian event, right?
Yeah.
I remember I have a picture somewhere where it's Johnny Witchhammer Studio, Eric Wire, and Isaac looking at Necromunda models, and they're talking so abstractly about the models, where they're like picking this up, they're like, "This is the best arm ever for this style thing," and it was like, I never in a million years would think about these models like this. Normally, I pick it up, I'm like, "Cool armor." Great
Nice.
armor. Yeah, cool. This is what I want to gravitate towards, but I don't know.
Well, if I had to talk about you,
Me.
you
Yeah, name your 3
personally,
favorite things about me.
I would say that you are attracted to armies with like a cinematic leaning. You like Tyranids because you like Alien,
Yeah.
and you like John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
You like Catachan Jungle Warriors when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Because I don't know,
Predator.
they're probably tied into some
Predator.
sort of
Rambo.
Masculinity
that kind of shit.
complex.
Or that. But a lot of times I think that you pick armies or pick projects or pick interests, and I think that you tie them a lot into like popular culture from when we were kids.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia. But I think it goes like it's nostalgia, but it's personal nostalgia. Like
Yeah.
things
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you were interested in when you were kids, I think play a big part in the things that you pick.
Yes.
Which, now that I'm thinking about it, probably is the answer for all of us. Like whatever we were into when we were kids probably translates to what we like now.
Yeah, probably, yeah. It's like a lived experience or something, you know?
Yeah, I would guess.
If I had to answer... Wait, who's Steve got to answer for? I can't answer just back for you.
I'll answer Terry, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
what'd you say?
Yeah, what would you say about Terry? Because I have a thought about Terry.
I think Terry, it's like whatever, because Terry is so all over the place.
There's
all the
one
time.
word on the tip of my tongue. I'm waiting for you to say it. If you,
I don't know what you're gonna say.
Now I'm getting switched up now. I think it's chaotic. Like whatever's like, you just like are impulse based. Like you have an idea and you just jump on it. It's like, I want to make this thing. And then you kind of like will create an entire project around that one thing. Like with your Nurgle
Yeah,
thing that you made for Smash Bash, or like the orcs. I mean, that was like a project kind of handed it to you so you would play with everyone, but you really spun it your own way finally. Like
yeah.
and I think it's more
Contrarian is the word I would.
No, wow.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think being like, oh,
He is a contrarian, but
Yes.
entirely.
I mean, no. I mean,
Well,
I'm not a contrarian.
well, because his
I hate
Nurgle stuff,
contrarians.
his Nurgle stuff is very like just bash the planet. But then your vampire count stuff was also the same. Like, you just ran with an idea.
You just ran with an idea. I think contrarian theme is what is where I would say for Terry.
Yeah, like Metan is the shitter, sucky, bad guy. It's like, oh, so you just like playing like the shit version of stuff, huh?
You're not wrong. I mean, me and Phil have talked about how we are always attracted to benchwarmer armies. We are always attracted to, like, we want to tell the story of like the underdog, but in a way where it's like they lose, you know? Like,
Yeah.
like we want them to get their ass kicked as well as being the underdog,
Right.
Just to be like, this is funny. That's funny though that you guys see that.
Why would you say it about yourself? Because I agree with you. More so on the cinematic part for me. The nostalgia thing, not too much, but it's probably subconscious, and that's why I'm disagreeing.
Because I'm thinking about like when you posted, or we were talking about the Wilhelm miniatures, like his painting style, and I was like, that is very Gage.
Yes.
Like even more so than like I paint like that, but I do it in a different way. I feel like than what you're getting out of it, because it's like you pull so many. I don't know how to explain it exactly, and it's like right on the tip of my tongue, but it's like you have this way of taking different things that are pop culture references and putting them into your work. You know, like but it's
Like a cool SpongeBob card in my Magic deck.
yeah, maybe that's where I'm like, yeah, definitely like you're going to be playing SpongeBob Marines next.
Dude.
Yeah.
No.
I don't
Prints a
know.
bunch
I
of
could see
SpongeBob
it.
heads.
Listen,
It's like
I got that sick Plankton model. The one
Yeah.
that goes, oh, that one.
yeah, you can have him sticking his head out of the top of a rhino tank.
He is the rhino.
He
tank.
is the rhino tank.
While you're thinking about that, Steve, I would say tradition for you.
Tradition?
I think a lot of what you do is from like old White Dwarf style, especially with fantasy. I think you very much pay respect to the old. You're a real Thingo Rodrim, keeper of the old ways. You
Dude.
like your Empire army is very you. It is so you to
Yes.
the fullest extent.
Yeah, sitting in a giant pile.
It's a pile of shit
Can we
right
take-
now.
Hold on, let me take a picture of this.
Yeah, when Nathan was here, he was like, "Why are these just thrown in here?" I'm like, "That's Steve." But they are so you. However, it is so very like classically informed. It is
Yes.
so very pay respects to the old, of the greats before us.
However, you do always put a spin on them that makes them different
Yes.
in a very Dark Souls kind of leaning.
Yes.
You think so?
The Empire Army for
Absolutely.
sure, but I would say almost any, like your Brothers of Prometheum all feel like some sci-fi Dark Souls bullshit.
And
Yeah.
to that point, your bashes are always so busy, but in a good way.
Yes.
You're the Greeble master with a lot of shit.
Yep.
But it always will fit into like the respect of an old White Dwarf or
Totally.
something.
Hey,
where-
scale is everything.
yeah, absolutely.
Keep your big chains off my models.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Like it is always very much like it's like the bands that are like they're gonna steal a Black Sabbath riff, but they're doing it out of respect.
To
not
pay, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, like
Pay homage.
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like everything I tried to do with those armies, all those old fantasy armies. Like the goblins especially.
Yes, yeah. Very much so in your goblins.
Yeah. The orcs, I mean,
But like the lizard men, I mean,
Yeah.
it's also easier because we're staring at yours while Terry and our cases are way on the other side.
Yeah.
But your lizard men especially are truly grim dark, right? Like that would be trademarked by Games Workshop for those lizard men. However,
think
they are
so?
still very classically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
They're
is
not-
that to they're on square bases and ranked up? Do you think that is what?
No, I mean, look at your freaking goblins. Like those
Yeah.
goblins are so green,
They are very green.
and they are the banners and shit are so bright. It's just like it looks like some old Hammer stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's like everything for regiments was all like very old Warhammer Fantasy
Yeah.
battle pilled.
Exactly.
The orcs, I think, were the thing that I branched out the most with, though. because I used oils on them, and I was like, I'm gonna paint these in a week.
Yeah. But I mean, like your Space Marines are the same way.
Yeah,
It's like they're still very much.
there's a tone,
They're
stylistic tone.
you know what I mean? Like those are Blanchetsu as shit.
Yeah.
but-
yeah.
Yeah, in a way that it's like it feels classical. You know, it doesn't feel like even modern. It feels like third edition Black Templar box set.
Where
kind of
like
looking.
like if you took. It was like you probably use the same amount of greebles as like Isaac would use on
No.
but what I'm saying though is that his army would look so fucking out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
Yes. Yeah, I try to keep it in the realm of what I'm, but I think that comes down to the like almost like the don't fucking mix my IPs. Like the these are Space Marines. Like don't get it twisted. These guys are Space Marines.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Whereas like Isaac would have no problem putting a navigator head on something being like, this is the big Space Marine.
Yeah. Or this is actually an Eldar.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
that's cool. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's just
Different strokes.
different strokes. Different
Absolutely.
strokes.
Yeah.
Now, how would you describe your own style?
My own style? Stupid, bad, dumb.
No,
Yeah,
stop.
that's
Stop
how I
beating yourself up. Come on, you're being stupid.
About me. Yours are awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't obviously have as many armies as Steve, but for my
But like you're still like interested in certain things. in
I
particular.
think a lot of my like skirmish warbands specifically, I think it's also my learning style right now is I try to pay homage, but to creators and people that I look up to. Like my Necropolis warband is very much like, oh, I went to Croatia and I learned all of Anna's secrets, and it's like that's my warband now. I'm going to do that for this warband.
Yeah.
Or it's like, my term warband was just looking at Canicus Trolley actually on Instagram and being like, well, he's got these crazy weird heads on everything, and it's like, okay, well, what if I use that? Like, what if I use squig bodies for armor? And it was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna lean into that weirdo shit. And then it's like, whenever we get to it, doing like the 3 or the different chaos armies we always kind of keep talking about with that project, I want to lean into the mutant modifier miscast style heavily, like almost no GW. Like maybe you're like, what he does, he's working on knights right now, and it like finally clicked with me. The silhouettes they're not the same as like a knight, right? But he'll use like a knight shoulder pad on one side, so it will still fall in line with that knight, but he's using just like fucking garbage and dollar store toys for everything.
You know what? Now that you mention it, dude, yeah, you do kind of have that thing going on too.
That's like I try to keep that going with every project of like, okay, who can I pay respect to in this regard, or like who can I rip off in this regard?
But the people that you're choosing to rip off and the people like steal ideas from, they work in a surreal like manner. You know, they work in a way that something's not quite right.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, like Canicus Trolley, like his work is amazing. It's painted beautifully,
Beastman
but
Army
like,
is-
yeah, the actual like bashes and the put together, it's like it's surreal. It's
Yes,
weird. It
yes.
looks like something out of like some strange fever dream
Yes.
that you would have. You know,
some
it's-
Boschian insanity. Yeah,
or like there's some dark, you know, Mobius stuff or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And I think that you have like a nice little tie of that kind of, you know, you like the classic kind of monster movie shit, not classic monster, but you like Alien Predator kind of bullshit, but you also want like your seashells.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think I try to mix a lot of that.
I think we need more projects for small stuff because I'm sick of building entire armies.
Right. Oh, I think about skirmish stuff all the time, and I mean, there's people that I think that would be a fun thing, either after the next thing or even potentially for the next thing, is to dip into a skirmish.
I think if we did that though, it couldn't be with like as much as I desperately want to get back to the middle of strategy battle game battle companies.
I want to paint my orcs. I want to paint them.
I don't think we would have that kind of expression with a Tolkien-esque.
No, Tolkien. It's
or a New
model
Line Cinema
on, model on the fucking base.
Yeah,
That's what
totally.
it is.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
still like fun to do.
It is.
Although I already have an army for it, and you guys won't let me play it, so I have to make new models.
You have to do new.
That's true.
I mean, it's the same as like Terry can get away with it with his Rohirrim, but it's like they are still human.
Yes.
And they are guys on horses.
And some of them even bashed slightly. It's like, this guy's too silly.
yeah,
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Well, and like I feel weird using anything but a Lord of the Rings orc.
Yes.
In that game, like I don't want to use a 40k orc.
No,
or
yeah,
a
yeah.
Warhammer
Yeah,
Fantasy
yeah.
orc.
Well, yeah, it's like someone comes in with the Bakshi original hobbits against my Tolkien army. It's like
kind of cool.
you know what I mean? It'd be
I
like
come in with the fucking what is it? The Heartbreaker minis. Those orcs that look like the old Tolkien
Yeah.
animated orcs. That
they're
might be kind of
completely different scale than like the
Yeah.
elves I'm using,
Yeah.
or because when Hoskins was here, we used your goblins to play.
Oh, yeah.
Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game Battle Companies, and it was like, yeah, we are playing a Lord of the Rings game, but like those are night goblins.
Yeah.
Those are not.
Mixing IPs, brother. Sucks.
Dude, I'm having a mental breakdown thinking of how contrarian I actually am now. Like, I'm fully just going to be like, fuck, I love Skaven because they don't fit into the fantasy world. And I could be like, yeah, this guy's got a freaking flamethrower.
Yeah.
I hope you're
I have a
spearmen
gun.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a gun. Like, thinking, I sent that text
You
today.
said the text today. You're like, I'm making a plane.
I want to make a biplane Skaven. It was like giving a thumbs up as he flies by. And I'm like, dude, that's so contrarian. I'm like looking for flying models in all of OPR to be like, that. It's these rules.
Oh wait, that was for Skaven.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was for your orcs. I was like,
Skaven
yeah,
just-
biplane orc. That's cool, but
No. Yeah, just
it's almost
having a-
kind of the same thing though. Orcs like Skaven
Oh,
are
oh.
the 40k orcs,
No, totally.
you know.
And that's why I like orcs too, because I can make a weird face on the front of the truck, and it's not like that's too silly to be Space Marines. It's like, no, these are orcs. There's Taz painted on the back, flipping you off.
They
saying,
have
like,
Taz
yeah.
on the TV in
Yeah.
the orc.
Oh, like this one.
All the
This
orcs,
is a good one.
they're like on a projector screen, they're watching old Looney Tunes
Yeah.
Taz clips just 24/7.
There's popcorn flying in the air when something funny happens.
It's the Gremlins movie theater
Oh
scene.
yeah, yes, totally.
Whoa.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yo, dude, what if?
Thanks for checking out this episode of Hivescom. If you aren't already part of the community, check us out at the In Rust We Trust Discord, which you can find down in the description below. If you have questions you'd like to ask us, you can find our Instagrams down below as well. Or feel free to ask away on the Discord. We also have plenty of extra content and other perks available to our patrons on Patreon. So if you're interested in helping us keep doing what we're doing, then you can find that description below as well. Until next time, folks, keep it grimdark and keep it grimy. Peace.